Premanande Hare. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga, and all glories to you, Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narotamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudhirayet. Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nitinamine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine. Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama Rama Rama. Sa Tvam Katham Mama Vibho Akshipatha Paratma Yogaishvarai Shruti Drisha Amalarit Vibhavyaha Sakshat Adhokshaja Uru Vyasanandha Buddhe Syan Me Anudrishya Iha Yasya Bhavapavargaha Satvam Katham Mama Vibho Kshipatha Paratma Yoga Ishvarai Shruti Drishamalaridvibhavyaha Sakshat Adokshaja Uru Vyasananda Buddhe Syan me nudrishya iha yasya bhavapavargaha Satvam katham mama vibho kshipatha paratma Yoga ishvarai shruti drishamalaridvibhavyaha Sakshadadokshaja uru vyasananda buddhe Syan me nudrishya iha yasya bhavapavargaha. So we will chant the next two verses as well, and then we will take call and response. Deva Deva Jagannatha Deva Deva Jagannatha Govinda Purushottama Narayana Rishikesha Punya Shlokachyutavyayah Anujani Himam Krishna Anujani Himam Krishna Yantam Devagatim Prabho Yatra Kvapi Satascheto Bhuyan Me Tvatpadaspadam Deva Deva Jagannatha Govinda Purushottama Narayana Rishikesha Punya Shlokachyutavyaya Anujani Himam Krishna Yantam devagatim prabho yatra kvapi satascheto bhuyan me tvatpadaspadam. Translation and purport by the loving disciples of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. Translation. O Almighty One, how is it that my eyes see you here before me? You are the Supreme Soul, whom the greatest masters of mystic yoga can meditate upon within their pure hearts only by employing the spiritual eye of the Vedas. Then how, O Transcendental Lord, are you directly visible to me, since my intelligence has been blinded by the severe tribulations of material life? Only one who has finished his material entanglement in this world should be able to see you. Purport. Even in the body of a lizard, King Nriga could remember his previous life, and now that he had the opportunity to see the Lord, he could understand that he had received special mercy from the personality of Godhead. The translation and purport to the next two verses. O Deva Deva, Jagannatha, Govinda, Purushottama, Narayana, Rishikesha, Punya Shloka, Achyuta, Avyaya. All of them are calls for the Lord, different names of the Lord. O Kṛṣṇa, please permit me to depart for the world of the demigods. Wherever I live, O Master, may my mind always take shelter of your feet. So let's call and respond to this translation. O Deva Deva, Jagannatha, Govinda, Purushottama, Narayana, Rishikesha, Punya Shloka, Achyuta, Avyaya, O Kṛṣṇa. So 10 names of the Lord. Please permit me to depart for the world of the demigods. Wherever I live, O Master, may my mind always take shelter of your feet. Purport. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti comments as follows on this verse. His faith emboldened upon receiving the Lord's mercy and thus attaining the status of servitude, King Nriga properly glorifies the Lord by chanting his names and then asks the Lord's permission to take his leave. The spirit of his prayer is as follows. You are Deva Deva, God even of the gods, and Jagannatha, the master of the universe. So please be my master. O Govinda, please make me your property with the same merciful glance you used to enchant the cows. You can do this because you are Purushottama, the supreme Lord of the Godhead, supreme form of Godhead. O Narayana, since you are the foundation of the living entities, please be my support, even though I am a bad living entity. O Rishikesha, please make my senses your own. O Punya Shloka, now you have become famous as the deliverer of Nriga. O Achyuta, please never be lost to my mind. O Avyaya, you will never diminish in my mind. Thus the great Bhagavatam commentator, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti, explains the purport of these verses. Hare Krishna. So I seek the blessings of His Holiness Pir Kṛṣṇa Goswami Maharaj and all senior Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis before I attempt to speak something. May the right words come at the right time, in the right mood of glorifying Srimad Bhagavatam and purifying our consciousness. Vancha. In this section of Srimad Bhagavatam, Maharaj Nriga, he is contemplating and reflecting on his great fortune. He's asking Krishna, how is it that I became so fortunate to see you? Generally, pure Vaishnavas, they first have darshan in their heart. And this is according to Shastra, this is the authentic way to approach the Lord. You find the example of Dhruva Maharaj, who first had darshan of Krishna in his heart. And when that darshan in his heart disappeared, that created the anxiety which made him open his eyes, and that's how he saw Vishnu in front of him. Even in the Brahma Samhita, it is described, Santaha Sadaiva Hridayeshu Vilokayanti. That pure Vaishnavas have darshan of Krishna in their hearts. In their purified consciousness, they have darshan of Krishna in their heart. So having darshan of Krishna in front of our eyes is a very, very, very rare thing. You find even in Chaitanya Charitamrita, when devotees went to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and said, there's Krishna dancing on the hoods of Kaliya, Mahaprabhu reprimanded. And he said, it is almost impossible to have darshan of Krishna in Kali Yuga. And therefore he is called Tri-Yugi. He who appears in 3 yugas in the presence of the eyes of the devotees. But one thing is for sure, darshan happens in the heart even in Kali Yuga. So we all have hope. In Damodarashtakam we find Satyavrat Rishi, who very beautifully sings 8 verses that we sing in the month of Kartik. In the 4th verse, he says, Varam deva moksham na mokshavadim va na chanyam vrineham vareshadapiha idam te vapunatha gopala balam sada me manasyave rastam kimanye. Oh dear Krishna, I do not want any boon of impersonal liberation, nor do I want eternal life in Vaikuntha. My only desire is that may this form of yours as Bala Gopal be ever manifest in my heart. That's all that I want. I just want to see you in the heart of my hearts. That's all. May this form play in the courtyard of my heart. And he repeats himself. After verse 4 in the 5th verse he says, Idam te mukham bhojam Atyantaniler Britam kuntalai snigdharaktaischa gopya Muhushchumbitam bimba raktadharam me Manasya virastham alam lakshalabhe. O Krishna, as you sit on the lap of Mother Yashoda with locks of soft black curling hair on your forehead and your cheeks being kissed by Mother Yashoda again and again, may this form of Bala Gopal, O Krishna, Manasya virastham alam lakshalabhe, may that appear in my heart. I don't want anything else. So it's interesting. In verse 4, he begs for darshan in his heart. In verse 5, he begs for darshan in his heart. And then Srila Sanatana Goswami, in his commentary to the Damodarashtakam, he gives the natural flow of these verses. And he says, when verse 4 and verse 5 are on the theme of begging the Lord for darshan in the heart, Satyavrat Rishi now takes shelter of Nam Sankirtan in verse 6 to beseech the Lord's mercy. And therefore we can hear, Namo Deva Damodara Ananta Vishnu Prasida Prabho Dukkha Jalabdhimagnam. He calls upon the names of the Lord and he says, I am fallen in this ocean of birth and death. Please, my dear Lord, pick me up and appear in the courtyard of my heart. So it's almost like Srila Sanatana Goswami introduces a conversation between Damodar and Satyavrat Rishi. And Damodar mentions to Satyavrat Rishi, okay, you want darshan? Then you'll have to chant my names. Then he called upon the names. Then Damodar said, but you're not calling out with pure devotion. To which Satyavrat Rishi says, Kuveratmajo Baddha, verse 7, Murtyaiva Yatvat. In your pastime, dear Damodar, you uplifted the 2 trees who were not pure devotees. You uplifted them and then made them into Madhukantha and Snigdhakantha, the eternal associates who go from door to door singing Damodar's glories in Goloka Vrindavan, according to Srila Jiva Goswami in Gopal Champu. So you uprooted those trees, O Damodar. Satyavrat Rishi is negotiating. And he says, you didn't wait for them to become pure devotees. You liberated them. You cast your glance on them. You made them into pure devotees and made them into your associates. So why have this double standard with me? So the point is, this is the same theme we find even with Maharaj Nriga. In verse 26, he asks Krishna, how is it? Generally we see that the darshan happens in the heart and then after that in front of one's eyes. How is it that I was a lizard, I didn't have darshan of you in my heart and I see you in front of my eyes directly? And in verse 27 and 28, would we be able to go to those verses, Maharaj, if possible? Can we go to verse 27 and verse 28? So we see after 26, so here we see, in the same mood as Satyavrat Rishi, Maharaj Nriga also now takes shelter of Nam Sankirtan. Like we see in the Damodarashtakam after verse 4 and 5, verse 6 is Nam Sankirtan. Here after verse 26, verse 27 and 28 are Nam Sankirtan. He's calling upon the names of the Lord. Srila Sridhar Swami in his commentary, he says, anybody who wants darshan of Krishna must take shelter of this limb of bhakti. Like Satyavrat Rishi, like Maharaj Nriga. We call upon the names of the Lord. And it's interesting. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur and Srila Jiva Goswami have given a logical flow of these names as to what is the logic behind calling upon these names. So Srila Jiva Goswami, he mentions the first name that's invoked. Actually, there are 10 names that are called upon here. So we have about 15 minutes, so we'll try to squeeze 10 names there. Srila Jiva Goswami says, Deva Deva. That's the first name. So let's chant this name. Deva Deva. So Deva Deva directly translates as the Lord of the Lords. In Sanskrit, the word Deva comes from a root word called Div, D-I-V, from where the English word divine comes up. So Sanskrit, the word Deva comes from the root word Div. And Div has 4 meanings. 1, he who is effulgent. 2, he who can fulfill all our desires. 3, he who can make his worshipper effulgent with a spiritual body. And 4th, he who is playful. So we can see 2 out of these 4 meanings, even the demigods fulfill, in the sense that they can make their worshippers effulgent. The example for that is Brahma. He made Hiranyakashipu effulgent by sprinkling water from his water pot. So that quality is fulfilled. And second, the demigods, they are also effulgent. So those who are effulgent and can make their worshippers effulgent, these 2 qualities even the demigods fulfill. The 3rd quality only Vishnu fulfills, and that is fulfilling all desires of the worshipper. That the demigods can't. That only Vishnu Tattva can. But the 4th meaning, even Vishnu doesn't fit in, and that's being playful. That's only Krishna. So these 4 meanings of he who is effulgent, he who makes his worshipper effulgent, he who fulfills all desires, and he who's extremely playful. These are the 4 meanings of the word Deva. So Maharaj Nriga is using all these 4 meanings here. He says, my dear Krishna, you are so effulgent. 2nd, you liberated me from this lizard body and made me effulgent. 3rd, you're so playful. You just extend your hand and you touch a lizard and make it into a great personality. You're very playful. Now 4th, please fulfill my desire by giving me pure devotion to your lotus feet. So you are Deva Deva. Also, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes, my dear Krishna, I may become a demigod now. Nriga is praying. I may become a demigod. And when I become a demigod, I may become distracted by this singing and dancing of the Apsaras. So you please promise me, even after I become a demigod, I become a Deva, you will continue to be the Deva of my Deva, which means my personality. Even after I become a demigod, please bless me, I don't get distracted. There's actually a disciple of Shripad Vallabhacharya in the Pushti Marg Sampradaya by the name Nanda Das Ji. He was a Brajbasi, very great soul. So in one poetry, devotional poetry, he says, O Krishna, I know who you are. You appear to be crawling in the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj. You appear to be drinking the breast milk of Mother Yashoda. You seem to be the brother of Balaram, but I actually know who you are. He says, you are the Indra for Indra. You are the Surya for Surya. You are the Chandra of Chandra, which means you're the moon god for the moon god. You're the sun god for the sun god. You are Indra for Indra. You are Brahma for Brahma. You are Shiva for Shiva. You are time for time. You are Yama for Yama. And for me, you are my life and soul. So you are Deva Deva. You are the Lord of the Lords. The second name is Jagannatha. So again, Srila Jiva Goswami introduces a conversation. Maharaj Riga is telling Krishna, when I become a demigod, you please promise me you will still continue to be my master. Then he says, Jagannath. What's the second name? Jagannath, which means the Lord of the universe. So Krishna is asking Maharaj Riga, how do you think you will become a demigod? What is the guarantee? How do you know you're going to become a demigod back again? So Maharaj Riga mentions, even if I don't become a demigod, you are Jagannath. You are the Lord of this world, and I am an insignificant part. If I as the servant can't come to the Lord, I being a part and parcel of this world, if I can't approach the Lord of this world, where else will I go? You are, if I become a Deva, you are my Deva. And even if I don't become a Deva, you are still my master because you are the Lord of the whole universe and I am an insignificant part of this universe. My relation with you continues, my dear Lord. The third name, Govinda. Now this name is so beautiful, very beautiful. Vinda means to give pleasure. And the word go has many meanings. The word go means cows. The word go means census. The word go means gopas. Gopa, it's a short form, go. The word go also means gopis. The word go means Govardhan. The word go means Goloka. The word go means Gokula. The word go means Goswamis. The word go also means the waves of the Yamuna. And this name Govinda encapsulates all these meanings as he who gives pleasure to the cows, pleasure to the gopas, pleasure to the gopis. By lifting Giriraj, he gave exclusive attention and pleasure to Govardhan. By his name, he gives pleasure to all the Goswamis. He nourishes the family of cows, Gokula. He nourishes the planet of cows, Goloka. By jumping and frolicking in the Yamuna, he gives pleasure to the waves of the Yamuna. So he's Govinda. Maharaj Riga says, my dear Lord, just like you cast your glance and give pleasure to all of them, you please cast your glance on me and give me pleasure and soothe the heat of my heart. I have been suffering in this world, my dear Lord. Just like in the pastime of Kaliya, all these names came to the ultimate zenith, the ultimate fulfillment. Because you can see the boys became poisoned and Krishna uplifted the boys by his glance. So he became Govinda. Then the waters of the Yamuna was contaminated. So by jumping and frolicking in the waters, he became Govinda. By dancing on the hoods of Kaliya and exchanging secret sidelong glance with the gopis, he was casting his glance on the gopis and he became Govinda. At the same time, he revived the cows who had become poisoned in this attempt and he became Govinda. Also, he gave pleasure to the whole of Vrindavan by coming out of the coils of Kaliya and so gracefully dancing on the hoods and he became Govinda. And ultimately, all the Goswamis for all times to come sing and dance, remembering this pastime of Krishna dancing on the hoods of Kaliya. So he's also Govinda because he gives pleasure to the Goswamis. Sri Raghunath Das Goswami Pad says, Yad kinchid trina gulma kikata mukam goshte samastam hitad sarvananda mayam mukunda daitam lila nukulam param. Sri Raghunath Das Goswami says, I bow down to every insect of Vrindavan, even the mosquitoes, even the lizards. Why? He says, because they all play their pastime. They all play their role in the pastime of Radha and Krishna. So Maharaj Nriga is praying, wherever I go, my dear Lord, even if I go in a lizard form, may I continue to serve you. May you cast your glance and accept me in your pastime. That is Govinda. Purushottama. That's Purushottama. The word Purushottama is very interesting. When Jarasandha was leaving this world, he was being in the pages of the Mahabharata when he was being uplifted. He saw how Krishna played a crucial role in the life of the Pandavas. And in Jarasandha's mindset, Krishna was manipulating the whole pastime. While he left this world, he offered some curse or some swear words in criticism of Krishna. And the word he said for Krishna is Purushadhama, which means he who is the most fallen. Purusha Adhama. That's the exact opposite of the word Purushottama. So Jarasandha said, you Krishna, you are Purushadhama. You are the most fallen among all men. But Saraswati Devi is so wonderful. She sits on the tongue of Jarasandha and flips it as poetry, as glorification. Krishna is called Purushadhama in Jarasandha's words as he who is the most fallen. But Purushadhama also means he who is so great in comparison to whom all men are fallen. So Saraswati Devi flipped Purushadhama as Purushottama. So imagine if someone says Purushadhama and gets the benefit of saying Purushottama, which means best among men, then Kim Uta, what has to be said for a person who actually glorifies Krishna to be Purushottama? Kim Uta, what to be said? What to be said of this? So that is Purushottama. Our acharyas describe Purusha means Vishnu and Uttama means best. So Krishna is the best among the three Vishnus. Karana Udakashai, Garbha Udakashai and Kshira Udakashai. Then the next name is Narayana. Narayana. Just like Ajamil called out. Just like Gajendra called out. Narayana Akhila Guru Bhagavan Namaste. Ajamil called out to his son Narayana and the Vishnu Dutas came. So the word Narayana has a meaning, has a very specific meaning in Aishwarya mood. The word Nara means man, like Narasimha. Nara means human, man. And Nara means the plural usage of the word man, which means men in the world of humans. Nara. And Ayana means shelter. So he who is the shelter for all human beings is Narayana. But Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur gives a phenomenally sweet meaning to the word Narayana in one of the commentaries, not in this verse, but in the Bhagavatam. He says the word Nara means human populace, human population. That is Vrindavan. And Ayana means to take shelter. So that Lord, who is the shelter for all human beings, but comes in this world as Gopal, taking shelter of human being like Brajbasis, that Krishna is called Narayana. He's taking shelter of Mother Yashoda. He's taking shelter of Nanda Baba. And therefore he's called Narayana. So that Krishna is called out here as Narayana. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, Maharaj Nriga is praying, my dear Lord, you are Narayana. You are the shelter for all living beings. You please promise me, lifetime after lifetime, may you continue to be my shelter, Narayana. For that Krishna said, I am the shelter for those who give their senses to me. So Maharaj Nriga says, O Rishikesha, you are the master of my senses. Till now, I used my senses for myself. I decided where to give the cows in charity. But from today, I promise, my mind, my intelligence and my senses, O Krishna, I offer it to you. You dictate and I will follow your dictation because you're the Lord of my senses. The next word is Punya Shloka. Punya Shloka means, Punya means purifying and Shloka means verses. Or Punya Shloka, so one meaning could mean glorifying verses about Krishna purifies the devotee who glorifies. That's Punya Shloka. Or Punya Shloka also means he who's going to be glorified for all times to come for his wonderful deeds. So Maharaj Nriga is saying, till now Krishna, you were glorified for uplifting a horse in the form of Keshi. You uplifted a donkey in the form of Dhenukasur. You uplifted a bull in the form of Arishtasur. You uplifted a crane demon in the form of Bakasur. You uplifted a calf demon in the form of Vatsasur. You uplifted so many animals and made them into your associates. Now your glory is going to go even 10 times higher because you uplifted a lizard. Punya shloka. People are going to glorify you for all times to come because you uplifted me. I am the most fallen lizard. And then after that, Achyuta. Achyuta means he who never fails or never falls from his position. My dear Lord, you never fail in uplifting the fallen. Please uplift me. Avyaya. Avyaya means that which never moves. Vyaya means to decrease or decline. And avyaya means that which never declines, that which never falls, that which never reduces. So he's praying Avyaya, oh Krishna, you please bless me that bhakti in my heart never reduces. May bhakti in my heart never decline. May bhakti in my heart go exponentially higher. So you are Avyaya, you never go through decay, you never go through decline, you never go through reduction. May bhakti in my heart for you never decline. Krishna says, how can I fulfill so many of your desires? I am simply a human being. To which Maharaj Nriga says, no, you are Krishna. And Srila Jiva Goswami quotes that this is the last word that's called out, which means this is the last word in Vedic literature. The word Krishna is the last word. And Sri Jiva Goswami writes, Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. When Krishna says, how could I fulfill all of these desires? I'm simply a mere mortal. So Maharaj Nriga says, no, you are Krishna. Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. You're not just God, you're the source of everything. My only desire, O Krishna, is may my mind always take shelter of your feet. This is my only desire. And we see so many acharyas have the same prayer. May you appear in the courtyard of my heart. May you appear in the pathway of my eyes. Jagannatha Swami, Nayana Pathagami Bhavatume. Please appear in the pathway of my eyes. And Bhave Hridaya Bhavane Bhavayeyam Bhavantam. In the Mukundamala Stotra, King Kulashekara says, my only desire, my dear Lord, is in the palace of my heart, may you reign as the king lifetime after lifetime. There is no other desire in my heart. Nishchala Bhakti Rastu. Kulashekara, King Kulashekara prays, my dear Lord, even if I have no money, even if I have no followers, very much in line with Shikshashtakam, verse 4, that the only thing, Bhavatad Bhaktir Ahaituki Tvai. I only want bhakti. King Kulashekara also prays, my dear Lord, even if material things are taken away from me, please promise me love for you, devotional service for you is never taken away from my heart. This is the only thing I want. So this is the prayer of Maharaj Nriga.